Hello all. So today we will see the third part of this Python for machine learning. In this section we will see strings, assignment, and how to comment these programs. So coming into the introduction, text processing is the most common application that we use in computing. We used to write emails, we used to do text messaging, or we used to browse web pages. Everywhere it is full of text. So we'll see the use of strings for this how to output this text, and also we'll introduce how to document these Python programs. So we'll begin with data types. So in the real world, there are a lot of data. So if you say some sentence like this, on 8th Friday, I took Python class from GEC Thrissur. In this text itself, there are different kinds of data that is being processed. There are different types of data. If you say 8th Friday, it is a kind of date. A Python is something related to a subject, or GEC Thrissur is something related to an address. So in a small sentence itself, we see different kinds of data. So in computer programs, this type of data is important. Whether it is a value, a text, or whether it is a integer value, whether it is a floating point value, if it is a real number, everything has some importance in computer programs. So also we have to see what all operations that can be done on this data. So we have to take care of what is this type of data and also what are operations that can be done on this type of data. So we'll define what is this data type. So data type, it consists of a set of values and a set of operations. It consists of a set of values, what all values that can be taken by that particular data type, and also a set of operations that can be performed on that particular data type. So another term we use is a literal. So a literal is the way of a value of a data type looks to a programmer. How a value will look to a programmer, that means it is a literal. We call them as a literal. So these are some of the literal examples we use. First one is integer. Python name is int. These are some of the literals. This is how programmers view this data. -1, 0, 1, 2. These all come under integer literals. Then we have real numbers. In Python, we call it as float. So these are some of the examples of float literals. -0.55, 0.333, 3.14, 6.0. These are all float literals. Then we have character strings. We call it as Python name is str. And these are some of the examples of those character literals. It will be in double quotes. This is an empty string. This is a single character A. This is also 66, which is represented in character. Since we are given single quotes, it's a character literal. So these are some of the examples in Python. So string literals, we'll see in this lecture, we'll see only string literals. So string literals, it's a sequence of characters enclosed in single or double quotation marks. So these are some of the examples. Hello there. So we'll see these examples. We'll write some programs in. We'll see in idle. So I have mentioned that it can be written in single quotes as well as in double quotes. We will see first in single quotes. So this will be the output, and similarly we can give it in double quotes also. So this will be the output. Then again, this is different. If you give simply a string like this is also an empty string. This specifies an empty string. Okay. So similarly, it can be given double quotes also. This also specifies an empty string. Okay. Then so remember that this is different. If you enter a space, this is different from the earlier one. where we have not entered any space. This specifies a single character string. Actually, a single space is there. So both are different. Then if you want to write strings in, if it's a lengthy string and if you want to type it in two different lines or something like that, you can use this triple quotes. I am using a very big string, and if you want to type it in a different new line, what you have to do is you have to include triple quotes. So I am typing a separate line. Okay. So what happens is here and new character slash n will be included. Slash n will be included here. So slash n means new line character. So slash n will be included here. So if you want to type it in the separate line itself, what you have to do is you have to include this in print statement. So I just include the same string and this thing. So it will be in two different lines. So this is how it happens. So if you are using print and if you are using triple quotes, then whatever you type in two different strings, it will be included in two different lines when it print. But when you are simply doing this, it won't be printed in two separate lines, but instead a slash n character will be included. Slash n means escape sequence character. It specifies a new line character. This means it should be typed in a new line. Okay. So this is an example. Then you can also use, we have already seen these kind of examples. So if you want to have something like this, I am fine, thank you, like this, we have already seen such kind of strings. I am going to US. Okay, if you type like this. So remember that we have included a single quote here also, but that will be also printed if you are using double quotes. And you can include the same thing in print statement also. Print the same string if you want to include in print statement. You can simply include it in print statement. So it will be there in this statement. So in this way, you can manipulate the strings. So if you want to print, so what you have seen is this is different types of strings. You have to include in double quotes, or you can print it in single quotes. Whether if you include in double quotes, that string, if it is a string literal, it will be shown inside single quotes. You can include empty strings also, like this empty string that is there's no space. This is a single space string because we have included a space. Then if you want to type into the two or three different lines, what you have to do is you have to use this triple quotes. You have to begin with triple quotes and to begin end with triple quotes. So if you type in two different lines, then automatically the output will be printed in two different lines. So in this way you can print in two different lines and all. Okay. So this is a basic introduction to strings. Now we will see. So we have already seen this. We have already seen all these examples. Then next is escape sequences. So we have already seen this slash n character. So it is called an escape sequence character. So there are other escape sequence characters also in this Python. So these are special characters. If you want to include a space, or if you want to include a horizontal tab, or if you want to include a delete key, that is backspace, everything can be included in Python. So these are some of the escape sequence characters that we use in Python. Slash p specifies a backspace. Slash n specifies a new line character. But here slash p backspace means it is delete. It is equivalent to delete key. Then slash n specifies a new line character. Slash t specifies a horizontal tab. This number of spaces will be left and it will be printed in the next tab. Then slash slash specifies the slash character. If you want to print that slash character itself, you have to include like this. Then slash single quotes means if you want to print a single quotation character, then you have to do this thing. Then if you want to include slash, if you do the like this, then double quotation mark will be printed. So these are all known as escape sequence characters in Python. Okay. Next, we will see another topic, string concatenation. So concatenation means to join two or more strings to form a new string. So this can be done in Python using the operator plus. It's like addition. So if you want to join two or more strings to form a new string, we can use this plus operator. So plus operator joins two or more strings together. We will see an example. Okay. So if you want to join two or more strings, what you have to do is hi. Then if you want to join, this is one string, hi. Then if you want to join some other string, uh, like hi Jacob, let me leave a space here, hi Jacob. Then I am going to join another string, how are you? So if I want to join three different strings, I can simply join like this. So I have to leave a space here, that's why that space didn't come here. So I have to leave some space here, somewhere I have to leave the space, then you will get like this. So this is concatenation. Using plus operator, you can concatenate two or more strings. So simply you have to include this plus string in between. You can concatenate different strings. So if you want to concatenate spaces, if you want to add some space before that string, so I am including a blank space here. And if you want to include some 15 spaces, so you have to use the star operator 15. In this means this space into 15, and I am adding another string hello. Okay. So if you do like this is I have included an empty space here and star operator 15. So this means 15 spaces should be included here. So this will be the string. So 15 spaces will be included before printing this string. So in this way you can print spaces also. 15 spaces will be included in this string. So whatever, if you want, you can include in this kind of thing. If you want to include something like star, if you want to print like star into 10 stars, and if you want to join some other string like how are you, something like that, you can simply join. So this means 15 stars will be included. So 10 stars will be there before this string. So concatenation operation. So you can include using this star operator. So that much number of spaces or that much number of strings will be. So even if you can, if you want, you can include some other string here also. Then using the star, if you want to print this 5 times, you can simply print like this. Adula adula, like that. 5 times it will be printed. So this is the use of star and plus operator. Okay. So this we have seen. So star operator allows you to build a string by repeating another string a given number of times. So how many number of times you want to repeat the string? We can print using this star asterisk operator. Okay. So we have seen already this example. So next topic is variables. So variable associates a name with a value. So it is easier to remember a variable rather than a value. So if you want to enter some value like integer 5, if you want to enter, it is better to remember it as a name. So if you want to enter the value like pi, the value of pi, it is 3.14. there will be many number of digits in this 3.1473 like that it will go on. So in order, it is very difficult to remember that value. Instead of that value, if you can simply name it using some variable like pi. So it is easier to remember that variables rather than remember that name rather than using those variables. So variable associates a name with a value. So variable name must begin with either a letter or an underscore. So it should begin with either a letter or we can use an underscore here. It can contain any number of letters, digits, or other underscores also. So you can name like this. So every time the variable name must begin with either a letter. Letter means alphabets, or an underscore should be there. And it can contain any number of letters, digits, or other underscores also. Another thing to notice, variable names are case sensitive in Python. So this weight is different from this weight. So both will have different names. So case sensitive means the cases are important in the case of Python. So typically what we use is a standard way of programming in Python is we use lowercase letters for variables. And if you have two or more names in that variables, what we have to do is you have to use uppercase lettering. We call it as uppercase. What we do is the first will be all in small caps and the second name will begin with a capital letter. So interest rate means R will be in capital letter. So typically we use only lowercase letters. If there are two or more names associated with that variables, what we do is second name thing will be begin with a capital letter or block letter. So use of all uppercase letters for the names of variables are used only to contain values that the programmer never changes. So if you want to include some variables whose values never change in the program, what we do is we will use all uppercase letters. That is, if you want to use the value of pi, it will be given in capital letters. It means that that value will not be, that variable value will not be changed in the program. So such kind of variables we can use uppercase letters. All will be in uppercase letters. Example like this, symbol, we call it as symbolic constants. Symbolic constants. So those are constant values which will not change in the program. So example, tax underscore rate. So this is all in capital letters. Or pi. So these values won't change in the program. So we can specify using, it is not mandatory that you specify using this block letters, but it is a good way of programming. So variable names should be typically in lowercase letters. If you have two or more names associated with it, then the second thing will be included used as begin with the capital letter. So if it is a symbolic constant, then you have to include, it is better to write using block letters or capital letters. Okay. Then next is assignment statement. So variables receive their initial values and can be reset to new values with an assignment statement. So every variable will have an initial value and it can be reset or it can be changed to new values with an assignment statement. So this is the assignment statement. Variable name equal to expression. We use the assignment symbol as equal. So this means this expression will be evaluated and this will be assigned to this variable name. So these are some of the examples. First name equal to Bill, second name equal to Clint. We will see this in the programming itself. So here I am going to assign something first name. So since this is a standard way, so first name contains two different names. So we have, what I have done is N is given as capital and first name equal to anything you can do. Okay, first name equal to Ajay left out a space. Okay. First name equal to Ajay, and I'll include a space here. Then you can assign, this is an assignment operator. So this expression, this is a string, this will be assigned to this variable, first name. Similarly, you can assign another name, second name, or last name, whatever you want, you can include last name equal to James. Okay. So if you press and agree, then this variable, this string will be assigned to this name, second name. Now, if you want to assign another name, so I am including another name, for full name equal to what I am doing is I have already included first name plus we have already seen this concatenation operator, first name plus concatenation operator, then you can simply use second name. Okay, first name plus second name. So this will give, this is assigned to. So this expression, this is an expression, first name plus second name. So first name will be concatenated with second name and it will be assigned to full name. Okay, now you can simply print this full name. If you print this full name, you will get the Ajay. So this is a way you can assign this. Or if you want to include like this, you are not going to include any space. So here I have included some space here. So you can remove that space also. Then you are simply assigning like this. So I am including second name here. Now if you want to print this full name plus second name, I'm copying it here. So instead, if you want to include a space, you can simply include a space like this. So we are concatenating three different strings. So simply you can assign now, then you can see full name. So automatically that space will be. So I have concatenated an empty string here also. So in this way you can perform this. So this is an assignment operator. So whatever there is in the RHS side, it will be assigned to the LHS variable name. Okay. So this is an expression here. This will be assigned to this full name. Okay. So that's all about assignment statement. Then the last topic here, it is about program comments and docstrings. So this is an important thing in programming. So comment is a piece of program text that the interpreter ignores. The comment is something inside a program text itself, but the interpreter, the Python interpreter ignores it while it interprets it. So the Python interpreter won't execute those things, it will ignore those things. So it is an useful documentation to the programmers. So this is an example for a doc string. This is an example for a doc string. Here it has begin. We have already seen triple quotes means we can print into three different lines. So program circle. This is the program name. Who is the author of that program? When this program was last modified, and also the purpose of this program will be written. So every program will begin like this using this doc string. It's not mandatory that you should include, but it is a better way. If you write programs, every program should contain this doc strings, so that people will understand. If somebody else will opens this program, they will understand what is who has written this program, when was it last modified, what is the content of this program. Everything will be there. So this is an example for docstring. Docstring. So when you write programs, the most important thing is using suitable variable names. So variable names improves the readability of the program. So if you when you use variables, it should not be given as short forms like A, B, C like that. It is better to specify interest rate or area, length, width. So you have to give meaningful variable names. So to improve the readability of the program, one important thing is using suitable variable names. And second thing is you have to include comments here and there. so that when some other person opens this program, they will understand what this program is. Okay. So this is another. If you want to include comments in particular lines, you can use this hash statement. In Python, you can use hash. So if you are writing like this, rate equal to 0.85, and after the hash, you are writing something, conversion rate for Canadian to US dollars. So this will form the comment. So the interpreter will ignore this thing. So this type of comment should be there in program, so that when some other person opens that program, he will understand. So here rate means this is a conversion of Canadian to US dollars. That is what we have specified using rate. So this is a symbolic constant. That's why we have given us all caps. Okay. So I have given some two exercise here. You can simply type this thing. So let the variable, we have to assign variable x to dog and variable y for cat, and then we have to see check the values what will be returned when we do all these three operations. Simply you can type and see. Then another exercise is write a string that contains your name and address on separate lines using embedded new line characters. Then write the same string literal without the new line characters. So how to remove that new line characters and how to print that address in three different lines. Okay, that's these two exercises you can practice. So this is a reference book, Fundamentals of Python by Lambert. Thank you.